This is a spoiler-free, complete guide to Palia, the newest, cosiest MMO in the world, probably. And I have beta keys to give away as well, so stick around for that. This guide will cover everything: gliding, hunting, fishing, fast travel, foraging, mining, crafting, farming, bug catching, decorating, home improvements, gifting, and more, with a little advice on the side from me, Fornax. Hello, welcome to my channel and my newest cozy obsession, Palia. And I've got to be real, I have fallen hard for this game, which I will talk about in other videos, but here today we have far to go. So let us tarry not and dive straight into it. The state of the game. So the game is now in closed beta, and to my understanding, this stage of development will flow directly into launch. Why would anyone want to jump into an unfinished game? Well, starting your adventures early will give you the chance to help shape the future direction of the game if you're willing to battle a beta bug or two. So let me show you around the beautiful world of Palia, and if you would like to win a lovely beta key kindly gifted to me by the Palia team, I will let you know how to do that at the end. So let us begin at the beginning. Character creation. The character creator in Palia is not as deep as many other games in the MMO space, but I found it engaging and I hope that the team will add more options before the official launch. When it comes to character creation, the more options, the better. After making your avatar, once you're in the world, you can still change elements of your character's appearance. So you can change their hair color and style, eyebrow color. You can also change their clothing. All the gear options that you saw in the character creation screens, you have free access to once you craft a wardrobe and place it in your home instance. So as soon as you craft the wardrobe, you're basically into a miniature version of character creation, but there are a few things you cannot do. So you cannot, at the time of writing, post character creation, change your character's body type, face, skin hue, or vocal tone. Naming. You need to have two names for your character in Palia. One by which NPCs will refer to you, and another players will see as you're running around the world over your head. For example, my avatar is called Fornax Kingspear, so I'm referred to as Kingspear in text conversations and correspondence with NPCs, but I'm Fornax to other players and in chat channels. Interface. So this is your focus bar, which when full hastens leveling of all your skills, both gathering and crafting. To fill this bar, all you need do is eat. Now, there are numerous food options in the game as you get going, but at the very start, you will find mushrooms dotted about the map that you can gather and consume. There is no penalty for an empty focus bar, you simply don't get the buff, and the amount of focus that you have can be increased via gameplay and interactions in the game. Next to your focus bar, you will see a circle with an icon in the center. This indicates the gathering or crafting activity you are currently undertaking or have last undertaken. Your skill level in that craft is displayed here. The line bar at the top of the screen indicates directionality. This icon here shows the time of day. The text time shown here is Palia time, not real world time. This section shows your tracked quests, only 3 of which can be displayed on the main UI at any one time at the time of writing. Below that, you will see your inventory bar, which you can cycle through using your mouse scroll wheel. The people icon here is your social tab, where you can find groups and fulfill player requests for materials, which you are rewarded with Renown. The book icon opens your character panel, inside of which you will find your inventory and more of a character status panel, really. A word about your inventory, however, before we continue, which is accessed by pressing the I button. Bag slots can be expanded by heading to Killimer's general store here, and the bag stand. Incremental bag increases cost more and more. But what is unusual is the overflow function. So when your inventory is full, This overflow allows you to hold on to those few items that would have otherwise been lost or left behind. You have a fair amount of time also to move those held items into your inventory proper before they're destroyed. This is a lovely, thoughtful feature which I really appreciate, especially early on in the game when inventory slots are at a premium. Back to the interface. So here you see your character tools and their state of repair. Here you will find all your skills, their level, and a handy tooltip with a picture of their associated master trainers. Your character level is here, which is just the combined total of all your skills. Here you can see your personality type, which you actually acquire as you have conversations with NPCs, selecting different replies. What relevance this will have in-game is yet unknown to me. I like it, and I'm certainly interested to see where the developers take it. Here you will see your focus bar, and I really do need to find some mushrooms. Over here you have accessories. The hearts are for romance pins. Yes, you can date some of the lovely villagers, and if you just must know all about that right away, check out the chapters below. Next to the hearts you will find 2 slots for fishing paraphernalia, and here is where your glider sits. Yes, there is gliding in Palia, and they've done it really well. Inside this main character interface is a quest panel showing all your current and completed quests, an accomplishments tab where you can track achievements and collections. There is a villager relationship panel where you can see your friendship progression and if NPCs can be romanced. As you can see, the more you progress friendships unlocks items and quests and all sorts of interesting things. Here is your map panel, which we will deep dive into a little later on, and a community or guild panel. As you can see, I'm all by myself. I am going to work on that, and we're not done, because here you will find a game news button, an emote editor panel, and a link to the cash store for the game. Back to the main interface. This circle here displays a tool or ability you are holding or last held. Pressing R reveals your tool selection interface. I'm playing on a PC, and you just mouse over to select. Pressing T reveals your emote interface, which you select as you would your tools. Bottom left, you will find all the chat channels. Simply press Enter to access them. Palia's interface is simple. It has good hover information and feels minimal enough when exploring. Personally, I like a very non-intrusive interface for cozy games, so additional options to hide elements like the direction finder and NPC and player name tags in the open world would be very welcome. Editing Fornex here. I forgot about the screenshot function, accessed by K. Click, click. That's fairly straightforward, but you have to make an album and you have to save images or they do not automatically save. Just a warning. Now back to better quality audio. Okay, movement. So the game is fairly standard with its movement. WASD, spacebar to jump, shift toggles sprint, held control enables walk, and F is your interaction button. You can rebind basically all your keys here, and I do recommend rebinding that walk held function, as the control button is used to access a decoration interface in your home instance. Climbing. So you can climb rocky and vined vertical surfaces in Palia. You can also jump onto climbable surfaces and glide into them as well. A finite exhaustion bar will appear when you're climbing, and when that bar is empty, you will drop. However, worry not, for there is no full damage in Palia. And handy hint here, whilst climbing you can jump upwards, hastening your ascent, but doing so will consume your climbing bar much faster. To replenish your climbing bar, well, you have to stop climbing and be on a flat surface, but it does replenish incredibly quickly. Editing Phonics again. Hey, I forgot to talk about Geyers, which is another movement mechanic associated with the glider. They're found dotted about the world, and what you do is you stand in the center, the water bubbles up, becomes a geyser, and propels you into the air. This is a brilliant use of the verticality of the game and the glider, and don't worry, there's no burn damage associated with the scalding water, so we're all good. If you get stuck whilst climbing. Beta is going to beta, and sometimes you just try and climb somewhere that you shouldn't and you can't continue. There's no need to just hang about. Spam your jump button to burn through that bar and you will drop off fast, and then you can continue your adventures. Gliding. Unlocked shortly after character creation, gliding opens up the world greatly, but how does it work? Well, once you have your glider, just press spacebar to jump, and if you can glide, you will, and you can hurl yourself off all sorts of things. It's great fun. And you can glide for as long as you like. There's no exhaustion mechanic, and you can use gliding in conjunction with climbing to make map traversal surprisingly dynamic for a cozy game. It's really fun just getting about in Palia. Like a bird. So, to unlock gliding, you will need to complete the quest, Like a Bird, for which you will need fabric, leather, and planks of wood. Now, I recommend buying the fabric and leather from Trish's furniture shop. Just head here and interact with the till or cash register for my American cousins. If you prefer to craft the materials needed yourself, you can totally do that. You will need to grow and harvest cotton, fell trees for wood, as well as hunting for pelts. You will also need to unlock the recipes for and build a loom and a sawmill, and then you will need to process all those raw materials. Gliding allows you to get to otherwise inaccessible areas, and if, like me, it pains you physically to leave treasure chests unplundered, speed of acquisition may outweigh immersion in this one fringe case. But you do you, boo. Water hazards. So you cannot swim in Palia, or at least you cannot swim in Palia at the time of writing. In fact, getting into deep water plays the role of an obstacle in the game. For example, you will stumble upon a treasure chest surrounded by water, and discovering how to get to it is part of Palia's exploration gameplay. I don't mind a jumping puzzle or two, or a gliding puzzle at that. Will there be swimming in Palia at some point? I mean, I don't think it's beyond the scope, at least if the game is the roaring success I hope and think it will be. Swimming could definitely be on the cards. Boats could definitely be on the cards. I mean, the sky is the limit if the community really embraces and gets behind the game, but at the moment, I don't know. Maybe there's a narrative reason we can't go into the water that I haven't discovered yet. No spoilers in the comments, please. I really want to play through the story. Okay. On to finding where to go for quest objectives is very straightforward. There is a Skyrim-esque bar at the top of your screen, as we talked about in the interface section. NPCs and quest icons will appear here, and centering an icon like this means you are traveling towards or facing their direction. You can also open up your map by pressing M, and then you can track NPCs and discover quest areas, which are often marked on the map. A living world. NPCs roam as the game has a true day-night cycle, with 24 minutes of real time equaling 24 hours of Palia time. NPCs all go to work. They all have a home. Sometimes they will head to the tavern at the end of the day. Others will go fishing. Others still will take a walk by the lake in the moonlight. Some get up early. Some sleep late. This makes Palia feel like a real world, a breathing, living place, which I adore. I love this. But what happens when your NPC quest giver has turned in for the night, but you still need to turn in your quest? Well, the game has you covered. You just head to their house, to their room, and interact with the door to complete your quest, or just, be a good neighbour and have a long chat at 2 AM for reasons. Again, you do you, boo, but when they are in their bedroom, I would love for the devs to put them in their pajamas, just to kind of reinforce the fact that we have woken them up out of bed. That would be chef's kiss perfect. Anyway, back to the map. So players can also set waypoints on the map, which is great for me, as I tend to get lost both in-game and in the real world. There's a reason why in my guilds there's a rule that you never follow Fornax. I could get lost in a teacup, and it's not like getting lost cannot be a wonderful thing, especially in exploration. But when you need to get to a specific location in a timely fashion, this function is a gift from the dragon itself, and thoughtful devs, of course. And last but by no means least is this icon here, which shows the location of stables, Palia's fast travel system. Yep, we have fast travel in Palia. So Palia doesn't have mounts, so the devs have given you two options to get about a bit easier. First is the return home button found on your map here. It has a 30-minute cooldown, press it and you will zone to your home instance. And the other fast travel option are the stables dotted about the world. Now they are few in number, marked by these boards in world, and to use them you just get up close and personal and press F to interact. They are incredibly handy, but at the beginning of the game can feel a little costly on outward bound journeys. However, going home is always and only 10 gold, no matter where you travel from, which I really appreciate. Onto quests. The game takes your hand early on, giving you quests to explore the town, interact with its people, and get you into the gathering and crafting systems which form the lion's share of Palia's gameplay. To access your quest log, press L to open your main player interface and click the exclamation tab. If you wish to advance the many stories in-game, you will need to get to know the villagers of Kilima better. To advance your relationships, and even form romantic attachments with villagers, you will need to engage them in conversation, complete their unlocked quests, and give them gifts. So, let's talk about gifting. Once per hour, which marks a day in Palian time, you can chat with villagers to gain their favour. Once every 7 hours, a Palian week, you can give them a gift. But what to give them? Well, the easiest way to determine what gift a villager wants is to ask them. Click this icon here just below the gift giving button in the conversation menu, and they will tell you what they want or what their friends want. It's rather lovely. They're all connected together. It's very sweet. But fear not, after 7 conversations, you don't have to commit all their wants to memory. After speaking with a number of villagers, you can open the relationship tab and see their favoured gift of the week here. However, if you want to YOLO Russian roulette it, you can just keep trying to give them things in the hope that you'll stumble across something that they will accept and like. You can date villagers. However, this is not Baldur's Gate 3, so temper your expectations. So if a villager is happy for you to slip into their DMs, it will be stated here in the relationship management tab. You can check to see who is available and who is not interested. To unlock dating, you must advance your friendship to unlock that kind of romantic gameplay and its special quest lines, which sounds quite lovely. I haven't engaged in this yet. For the thirsty Palia player, you can date multiple NPCs, and if 1 or 2 of those relationships blossom into something special, you get to wear a pin marking your romantic status. 2 pins can be worn at any one time, and villagers will make comment on your attachments, which is rather lovely. The devs have stated that more characters could be unlocked for romantic entanglements in the future, so watch this space. Gathering and crafting. There are currently 8 professions or skills to learn in the game, and 8 profession training masters or guild masters. These trainers supply starting gear, and as you level they will sell you recipes to upgrade your tools and craft additional equipment for raw material processing. Let's start with my passion, furniture making and modifications. Tish is a master woodworker, weaver and cabinet maker, although she only gets credit for one of her many talents, which is furniture making. For that picture perfect handmade home, her loom and furniture recipes are a must, and you can customize items you craft using a modification bench purchased from her when you reach level 4 of furniture making. And you will also need a modification kit sold at her furniture store by interacting with the till. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So at the start of the game, you are given a workbench to make all the gadgets and gizmos you will need to become a self-sufficient permaculture child of the Phoenix. And it is here I will say to you, make storage boxes. At least 3 to get you through the early stages of the game. Any storage boxes you craft and place in your home instance are linked. They form a shared, expandable storage system. This means that you can dot them about your home instance to have access to all of your stored items anywhere, which is a fantastic quality of life feature. But, again, I'm getting ahead of myself. You will first, of course, need to place your crafting station in your home instance and press F to open the crafting interface. The first tab shows all the recipes that you've learned. In the beginning, very few. As you go through, more and more. The decor tab is for decorative items only, so think sofas and beds and lamps and plants. The tool tab is for consumable items and upgrades, so crafting arrows and smoke bombs, and for upgrading your tools to higher levels, allowing you to gather different materials. The crafter tab is where your material processing machine recipes reside. Think looms and forges. All the items you craft have a recipe, and each recipe shows all the materials needed for its production. And we can all rejoice again for a fantastic quality of life feature, for the workbench draws materials not only from your inventory, but from your shared storage boxes as well. Thank you, developers. Now, once you have all the bits and bats you need, you can quickly create any of the recipes by simply clicking the Make button. The first time you craft a new piece of decor, your character will be inspired to create a new recipe. 3 silhouettes will appear above your head like this, and you must choose one of them. The outlines are not always as informative as I would like, but I do love this mechanic. It's great fun. Now you can, of course, purchase more recipes from Tish as you level your furniture making skill, and I would note that Tish's shop is filled to the brim with beautiful decorative pieces that you can buy for gold. You don't have to craft them. If that's not your bag, you can go in and buy whatever you want. So you can have that picture perfect handmade home, or everything can be bought from the shop, and the stock in the shop changes daily. But crafting and the store are not the only places you get decorative items from, because villagers will send you gifts as you progress and level your stories, as you progress and level your skills. So even if your focus is elsewhere, you will still have plenty of beautiful, interesting items to display in your home. Fear not. On to mining, which is trained by Hodari. Mining unlocks the ability to gather ore, stone, clay, and craft metal bars and bricks. Select your pick, find a node, get close, press and hold your left mouse button, and well, you're mining. A bar will pop up. When the bar is empty, the node is exhausted and you're done. Different nodes unlock at different levels, giving different raw materials. To process ore into bars, you must craft a forge and place it in your home instance, the recipes which will be sold by Hodari. Once crafted and placed, press F to access the forge. Raw materials from both your inventory and storage boxes appears here. Left click to add one item at a time, or right click to add an entire stack to be processed. Refining ore takes time. How much is shown here. Once finished, the processed materials will appear here, and you can click to collect them. Foraging is trained by Ashura and includes both lumberjacking and the collection of wild plants. Crafting wooden planks is also part of foraging, as is crafting a sawmill to craft planks, recipes for which is sold by Ashura. To collect wood, you must fell trees, so select your axe, stand close to a tree, and press and hold your left mouse button until you're done. Wild fauna that can be collected is very distinct. It will glow and hum, so you just have to get close to it and press F to gather. As with the forge, the sawmill must be crafted and placed in your home instance and operates in the same manner. Fishing is trained by Einar, one of my favourite characters in the game. Fishing supports cooking and gift giving and decoration, and I find it rather zen. So to fish, you need to select your rod when at a body of water. You can fish in open water or in shoal nodes. Press and hold your left mouse button to spawn a ground or rather water targeted circle. This target will rush forward away from your avatar. Release to cast a line at will, and then you wait. When a fish spawns, the line will move and a sound will play. This happens 3 times, then the fish will hook. Quickly press and hold the left mouse button and move your mouse cursor following the direction of the fish. Keep the fish inside the brackets. You do not need to move your mouse physically towards you, just side to side, and once the fish reaches your avatar, congratulations, you have caught a fish. The higher the level of the fish, the more difficult or the more dramatic the movement the fish will make. There is additional fishing paraphernalia like bobbers and hooks and worm farms to unlock. It's great fun. I always like fishing in games. On to cooking, something I'm not allowed to do in my own house after I set the kettle on fire. Anyway, cooking is trained by Reth, and if you want a stove in your home, you're going to have to level cooking at least a little. Honestly, trust me, if I can do it, you can. So your culinary life begins with a simple campfire and quickly advances to this lovely stove and preparation services. So I'm getting ahead of myself again. With a campfire, all you need to do is place it in your home instance and then press F to open a very basic recipe tab. Select one of the recipes, any that take your fancy or that you have the materials for. Click and wait a moment or 3 and then press F to collect your lunch. As you advance, you will need to craft a stove and preparation tables. To use them, you will need the appropriate ingredients and to interact with the stove, and then you follow the on-screen instructions. Mostly, you will have to move to one of the preparation tables and take part in a mini tapping game. Bug catching. Ainu is the resident bug collector of Kilima. He is very sweet, very energetic, and invites you to join his exploits, which might not sound too enticing depending on your opinion of bugs, but please don't skip this gathering skill. You will need it to craft fine furniture, advance NPC storylines, and unlock wonderful, unique, decorative items as well. So, how are you collecting bugs? Is it a glass and a piece of paper? No, it's smoke bombs. So smoke bombs are used to catch bugs. So you select your smoke bomb here, press and hold your right mouse button to spawn a reticule which you line up with your intended target. When ready, release the button and cross your fingers because bugs have a chance to escape. And the rarer the bug, the more likely they are to escape and the more bombs you're just going to have to throw at them. You might even need some friends to assist you in subduing some of these fluttery boys. Now, once captured, the bug becomes an interactable object on the ground, which you pop over and collect using the F interaction key. As you advance your bug catching and hunt higher level bugs and crustaceans, you'll be required to mask your presence and use other gadgetry, the recipes for which Ainu will sell you once you are level appropriate. Hassian is the hunt master of Kilima and trains you primarily in the crafting of bows and arrows. To hunt, you will need both a bow and arrow, arrows being a crafted finite resource in Palia. Once you have both, hunting is very much like bug catching. You select your bow and then you select the type of arrow you want to use by pressing and holding the right mouse button. You can actually do this for bug bombs as well if you have more than one type in your inventory. Once you're happy and you have the arrow type that you want to use, press and hold the left button and that reticule will pop up. Line up your target with the sight and release at will. You can one-shot prey as you reach higher levels with better gear, but in the beginning and with more advanced quarry, you will need to fire fast, lead your target, and be prepared for the chase. You can sprint while you're holding your bow, but you cannot when the bow is drawn. The primary resources collected by hunting are hide, horn, and meat. Onto farming. So Badru teaches you gardening, or rather arable farming. You can grow food crops, as well as those used for crafting fabrics. He will supply you with 2 plots to farm, some seeds, and a watering can to get you started. Place the sow plot in your housing area and select your garden hoe. Press and hold the left mouse button whilst walking over the mud plot, and you will begin to use the hoe to uncover individual planting nodes. You walk about and uncover all of them. They will puff and pop when complete. Then select your seeds in your inventory here by pressing the corresponding number on your keyboard. Press and hold the left mouse button, and when you aim over an available planting node, a silhouette of the plant will appear, and you simply release to sow. When you've sowed all the seeds you want, select your watering can. You will need to fill it first, so head over to the small pond, press the right button to fill your watering can, head back to your plot, and left button, walk around, water your plants just like you did the hoe. There is a water meter to fill. Press G, it will tell you exactly what's in there, what's growing. Plants do take time to grow. They will need to be watered daily, and some will need to be weeded as well. Once your plant is ready, you can press F to harvest it. Growing certain plants next to each other can give buffs to them, which increase your harvest yield. Grown produce can be cooked, gifted, used to craft fabrics, or sold to earn gold. As you use your tools, they will wear out. The level of wear is indicated here. If you do not repair your tools, they will eventually downgrade to a lower level and you will lose all your lovely upgrades. You can get the upgrades back, but yeah, it's going to cost you. So do repair your tools. You can do that here at Sufi's Forge in the village, or you can craft a repair station and plop it down in your home instance if you like. But it's not just wear and tear you need to look out for either. Your fishing hook can break if you fish up flotsam or jetsam. At least you have been warned. But my advice generally is to keep up on the repair of your tools and have a healthy stash of resources squirreled away for when you need to replenish, repair, and upgrade them. At the beginning of Palia, you are given a plot of land to call your own and the tools and recipes needed to make a very glamorous tent indeed. You will, however, need to clear an area, collect resources, and craft your decadent tent in the spirit of embracing a lifestyle of self-sufficiency in Palia. Let's just drill down into the perks and features of your home instance. What do we have to play with in here? So, multiverse access. Next to the entrance of your home instance, you'll find a notice board which allows you to travel to friends and party members' home instances. Yeah, if you are like me and you're super nosy and you like looking around other people's houses in real world and in game, this is a wondrous, wondrous feature. So, whilst in your home instance, press the H to access the Birdseye home editor, and then press this button here to access your home instance permissions. You can have a closed door policy blocking all but NPCs from your Palace of Solitude, or you can grant access to other people so they can have a sneak peek at your style, and for trusted friends, you can give them editing rights. This allows them to move items and redecorate your home to their heart's content. In Palia, there are social elements and gameplay, such as group gathering events, communities, and the like, which I have not really experienced yet. So I will direct you to a video on the official Palia channel, which talks all about that. My complete guide is not as complete as I would like. We're already inside the home editor, so let's dive into its features. This interface is accessed again by pressing H. Top center of your screen is the name of your current home instance. You can purchase another entire home instance for the low price of 50,000 gold. Just how many home instances a single player can have, I do not know, but for sure more than one. You can quote me on that. If you want to name your home instance, you can click in the social tab here and click the pen icon to edit. Back on the main home editor interface, on the left hand side, you will see all the items in your storage and inventory which you can place on unlocked plots. Below that is buildings, of which you can have many in your home instance. I'm still early on in the game and have none. The footage I'm going to put in here is from the live stream that shows a more advanced stage of home improvement. Below that is any unplaced crafting machines like forges and sawmills. And below that is fences, which you can place whilst in this mode, and you probably should. Fencing in third person is pernickety, I've tried it. Here, it's much easier. And below that we find decor, which shows any unplaced decorative items either in your inventory or your storage. And finally, the bottom tag is for blueprints. I haven't bought any blueprints yet because they're super expensive when you just start playing. Blueprints are used to expand your home. Now you can press items in this top-down mode, this bird's eye view mode, and it's recommended that you use it for maneuvering large pieces, your home and tent and gazebos and the aforementioned fencing. Can mouse over and pick up any and all movable objects in this mode. Q and E rotates them, and right-clicking an item will remove it, placing it into your inventory. You can use your mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and out, or the plus/minus buttons on the right-hand side here. To unlock additional usable areas, you will need to head to the town hall. Once there, interact with the till or cash register and purchase as many writs as you like or can. Writs are purchased with Renown, not gold. All other housing upgrades and expansions are purchased at the town hall as well, but will cost you gold. How do you gain Renown? To spend, so it's earned by leveling your skills, advancing your relationships, helping other players by fulfilling their requests, and earning accomplishments, which is Palia's achievement system. To exit this housing editing mode, press H again or your escape button. So you don't need to use the overhead main editor to decorate your home. If a placeable item is in your inventory, you can open your inventory, click place, and your mouse scroll wheel will rotate the item in this mode, and just left click to put it wherever you like. You can also walk around holding items and placing them. Your feet are not nailed to the ground. If you want to move an item that has already been placed without jumping into, again, that overhead editor, simply press your control key into that grid mode again, but in third person. In this mode, you can see clearly where you can and cannot place items, relocate them, rotate them, put them into your inventory if you want. Please note, when crafters like the forge are in use, you cannot pick them up and put them in your inventory, but you can still relocate them. You can still move them about the map to get that perfect aesthetic. For the sake of completeness, if nothing else, let us briefly talk about the mailbox found inside your home instance. So, as you complete quests, level skills, and advance relationships, you will receive mail from villagers. When you have mail, the red little flag will pop up here, and the mailbox will glow slightly. Click F to open your mailbox interface. By default, your post interface will open in the unread tab. Click the center of the letter to open and read it. Sometimes you will be sent an item or gift in the post, which can be found here. Click to add these items into your inventory. When you are finished and have read the letter, you can mark it as read. All red letters are found in the red letter tab. As far as I know, these do not disappear. You will always have access to these letters from villagers. When you're done, when you're finished reading your mail and collecting your goodies, press escape to close the interface. You cannot, at the time of writing, reply via the postal system to villagers, nor can you send letters to other players. All mail arrives at 6 AM and 6 PM every day in Palia. Your home instance has a 24-slot drop box into which you can place items you wish to sell. The shipping bin, as it's called in game, is the primary mechanic by which you will earn gold in Palia. All items in game will have a sale value here, or it will state that it is not sellable and therefore cannot be placed into your Dropbox. The total amount you will earn for your items in the Dropbox is shown here. At 6 AM and 6 PM, any items you have popped into that box will be collected and you will get paid. you can get gold rewards for completing quests. However, you don't get a huge amount of gold, and it's very infrequent. So if you're looking to make bank, you have to use your Dropbox. At the time of writing, crafted items cannot be sold. Personally, I would like the ability to sell things that I don't want to keep, or at least recycle them. It seems so wasteful to just bin unwanted items or have them lingering unloved in my storage forever. I don't like that idea, and I think it goes against the ethos of the game. With that, I actually think I've covered almost all the basics. I'm sure that there are things that I have missed. There must be. But hopefully you have an idea of the ethos of Palia before you decide whether you're going to jump into the closed beta. Speaking of which, if Palia is the kind of cozy MMO you have been longing to explore, and you would very much like a beta key, please, Fornax, all you need to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment below. I will use one of those RNG bot thingamajiggles to select key recipients. The clock is ticking, for you have 48 hours from the release of this video to like, subscribe, and comment to win a key. I will direct message all winners, so see you in the comments below. I do try to reply to all comments, so don't get too excited if I heart your comment and talk to you. I try to talk to everybody. But if you're the winner, I will say congratulations, you are the winner. And I want to say a big thank you to the Palia team for giving me these wonderful keys to share with all of you. Many thanks, much love. And much love to my wondrous, fantabulous supporters over on Patreon and Subscribestar. Your kindness and generosity is why I can still make content, still keep pushing it out today. The YouTube algorithm, she don't like me much, but hey, I'm trying not to take it personally. So thank you all so very much. If you would like to join my band of nerdy awesome, links below. Supporters get access to a private Discord where they can chatter with me on the daily. Sadly, we have come to the very end. However, rest assured, there will be more Palia videos on the channel coming soon. I'm going to make a video about the features I think should be added to enhance the game going forward. Recycling and pajamaed NPCs are just the tip of the iceberg of my hopes and dreams for Palia in the future. But, we have truly come to the very end of the video. So until we meet again, please stay safe, stay awesome, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.